Good afternoon, dear viewers of DMRO TV. It's Sunday and it's special as usual. Every Sunday, another Easter, another day to share on this important aspect of humanity, family. We are here this afternoon to talk again about family. And for some time now, we've been talking about leadership in the family. We'll be talking about the men who are the natural leaders of the family, who ordained by God, set aside as vicars of their families to see that the entire family is together, the entire family is happy, there's harmony, and children grow in an environment for posterity. We are happy that you are there today, and as usual, we are not coming to just tell you. We have come so that we should share, so that we should contribute ideas that gives family the value which family deserves. We are here to talk about men and family prayer. We've been talking about the men's adoration night. We're talking about how we planned for this night, how we spent the night. We've had our feedback, and the center of it was about prayer, humility, and family unity. Today we are talking about men and family prayer. We welcome you once more, and as we go ahead to talk about men and family prayer, let's know the men who are on set. Welcome, Mr. Itubi Evis.
Thank you, Madam. It's a pleasure to be with you for this program. As usual, we always try to explain how family is meant to be together, and the role of which a man will play as a vicar general in the family. So it's my pleasure to always partake in such events, in such program.
And
so
always insist,
always
insist on the fact that you are the vicar.
The vicar general, not the vicar, the vicar general in my family.
As a vicar general of his family.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thanks very much, Mr. Vicar.
Thank you.
Yes, Daddy Nebs, welcome. On this special day, we are talking family again.
Thank you, Madam. It's my pleasure to be here. Good afternoon, Elvis.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure when I'm here with you, because you know you always put the humor on
the program.
Yes. So we thank God that we are here again today to share, as Madam did say, about family values, to discuss so that our families in the diocese should always stay informed about the things that are happening and about the developments that usually take place in the families.
Yes, I'm privileged to be in the presence of two vicars.
You can say that again. Obeyed by God.
Yeah. I'm really privileged to be in the presence of two vicars. We are talking about an important issue here. It's not easy to be a vicar.
Yeah.
And we are talking about vicars who carry out their responsibilities. Not vicars by the
Not
name.
any kind of vicar. Yes.
Now we are here to talk about family. And we have these two men present. And it's just about men today.
Yeah,
sure.
Just about men.
Yeah. Yes. I will not even say that just today. I can say that this month, I don't know whether is it by design or by divine, or that this month of June has actually been dedicated to the men in our diocese. You know, we started since on the 6th of June.
Yes.
We have been staying focused on the men. We're starting with that adoration night on the 6th of June. And then after that, we have been talking about the men the whole time. I've talking about men. So what we're doing is just by divine grace. I don't know. That's how God had ordained it. That this month in the diocese of Buea, it will be the month for the month of the men.
Yes.
So it is our month.
So that the men should be praying for their children as they are writing the GCE.
As they are writing the GCE.
And other examinations.
Yes. So it is very, very wonderful that it so happens that we are actually talking about the men.
Yes, and we thank our brother who is touching the buttons and seeing to it that men actually take their place. Exactly. As he is taking his place
As a young man.
As a young man,
Growing up,
yes,
behind the
growing to
forest.
become a vicar.
Yes, in his own family.
Yes, in his own family, he's playing his role now on the buttons.
Okay.
We thank our supervisor, Joyce Mbong, who is making sure that the things are put in place. Before we go to talk about men and family prayer, maybe we'll start with the younger generation.
Okay.
What is prayer? What is family prayer? Why do we specify? Why do we talk about family prayer? Let people know what prayer is, and let know what we mean when we say family prayer, so that at least we'll be on the same lane as we move on.
To the best of my knowledge, when we always say that family, the story of our origin, so we need to first of all identify where we come from, and then we should know what family is all about and what prayer is important. How important is prayer in the family, and where prayer can lead us as a family. So to me, prayer, first of all, is a communication with God, a one-on-one talk with God, whereby you communicate, you air your mind, you air your worries, you praise God because He's the Creator. He makes you, He brought you into this world. He's the Alpha and Omega. So that prayer is that point in which you have created a special time to talk to God personally. Now we'll talk about family prayer. It's a time that the family creates. That moment that the family comes together, the husband as the vicar to spearhead it, the wife and the children, they join in communion in a family mood to communicate to God. And then there's always a program in which the family prayer is carried out. Who is to lead in terms of praises, worship, and then Bible scriptures? What are the advice and the challenges that the family is facing? We communicate that to God. We talk to God, and then we seek for solution. He inspire us, we give a listening ear to Him, and then now He tell us that okay, maybe go for confession, take your rosary, read these psalms, and then it guides you spiritually, and then it connects you and the family with God, to my understanding as a young generation, a young vicar.
That's a beautiful one. Yes, Daddy, what can you add to what your son has presented to us?
Yes. You see, as I think he said it all. He said it all. But I would just want to add a bit here. When he talked there, you see the aspect of community came in.
Yes.
That you see people coming together to talk to their supreme being. So prayer, therefore, it means that in that respecting that, looking at it from that point of view, family prayer is that time that the family members come together in communion, and then they present themselves to God and talk to God and listen to God. You see, there is this saying that there is this saying, very, very famous, always coming up in the church when we're in the church, that where one or two are gathered, I am in their midst. The Lord is in their midst. So a family prayer is that time that we evoke God, and God comes, and God is actually there with us. You see, if we're in the house, we are praying. At that time, we call on God, and He comes. If you take, for example, the steps of gospel sharing.
Perfect.
It
was just running through my mind.
Yes, the steps of gospel sharing in the SCCs. You see, actually, when they started, what do they do? We actually invite Jesus.
Yes.
And He comes. And when He comes,
that invitation is an invocation.
Yes, it's an invocation. We actually call for Jesus, and Jesus comes, and He is there with us. We believe He actually comes,
and that's why we welcome Him.
Yes, and then we call Him, and then we welcome Him, and then we talk now with Him. Then throughout the gospel sharing, the gospel session, the sharing, God is there. So that's exactly what happens in the family prayers. When you get up, especially, for example, we take early in the morning, because most families, they always put that time, that family prayer, early in the morning, when everybody is still fresh, and you get up and you come together as a family and you evoke God, and God comes and is there with you people. You people talk with Him. You tell Him your challenges, as everyone was saying. Either you'll be doing thanksgiving, you'll be doing supplication, in everything that He does for you. That's the time that you converse, communication, talking with God. Because if you don't talk with Him, You don't just expect God to know. Yes, we know that God knows everything, right? But it is your place as a family to be able to talk with Him. Let Him know that, okay, these are my children. It is the same thing with us. The same thing with my children. When they want something from me, they should talk to me.
Yes.
If they don't tell me that they need this thing, I will not know. But actually, I know their needs. I know their needs. Generally, I know that these are what children need, and I'm supposed to provide. But I expect
they have to be
them
able to express themselves.
Yes, I expect them to express themselves. So it is the same thing with us.
Yes, because in talking to the parents, you bond with them.
Good.
And it's the same way too. You bond with God when you are talking with Him.
When that bonding with God,
yes, it establishes a strong relationship.
That is the prayer. So in that moment, you establish that relationship and talk to Him. God needs us to talk to Him. He knows everything, but we must talk to Him. So
I must add that some Eucharistic man, some Eucharistic men,
yes,
even go to an extent of building an altar in their homes.
Yes.
A Eucharistic man who knows the importance of prayer goes ahead to be an altar in his house, whereby there's a table presented in one section of the house where you see the crucifix is there, the statue of Mary and Joseph as a family, and Jesus Christ is there. And then they design the altar very well to know that this is a prayer ground. Where they call the family for a prayer.
Yes, and when
just as the church has the altar and the sacrament or the tabernacle, the same thing that a parent, a Eucharistic man precisely should have an altar in his home. And then you see that the family comes together. They know that this section of the house is reserved for prayer as a family.
So it therefore means that. So it therefore means that when you want to enter into prayer, you must create the environment,
of course,
conducive for you to talk to God, because they say here we're talking to a supreme being, somebody who is above us. That so you cannot just talk to God anyhow. So you must find yourself, you must put yourself in that mode to be able to talk with Him, and then He comes back, and then
the proper mood is defined probably by the environment.
Yes, definitely, and maybe a state of mind too.
Is this prayer, family prayer, even really important? Is it necessary? Why?
Yes, prayer in general is necessary.
From the definition that we are giving you, from what we have just
said, God and to a supreme human being. You are to a supreme being. Human being, because it comes in the form of human, in spirit. The Trinity that we celebrated last Sunday. They say God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. So it's a being in the form of Son. And it's a being in the form of spirit. There is a supreme being in the form of God. So we celebrated last year, last Sunday, where we say that it's a mystery that we cannot understand. So this family prayer is important because it's a mystery behind the prayer. When you communicate with God, that supreme being, who is the same time a human being in the form of His Son, and then the same time a spirit, He has gone up to leave us with the spirit. That spirit is guiding us. So the prayer is important to guide the family spiritually, because you know that when two or three are gathered, as they have said, God is in our midst. So the presence of God is in our midst to guide the family. The spirit is there to guide us. So I think, to me, prayer is very, very important in family, in the sense that when His presence is there, just like Daddy mentioned, most families, they want to start their family prayer in the morning because they want to commit the day's activity into the hands of God, into a supreme being. So the spirit leads us, it guides you, say, take control over my day. We have heard of accidents that is happening. We have heard of so many misfortunes that is happening within a day. So when your family come together in union to communicate with God, they table their daily activity to God. The spirit is there to guide and direct them. So prayer is very important, very, very important as a family.
Yes, it is.
Maybe it's because we usually just see our physical selves sitting together, and we do not come to terms with the fact that we are both physical and spiritual beings. And because we are spiritual beings, we have to look at the spiritual aspect of our being.
Yes, we have to go beyond the physical.
The physical.
Yeah, we must go beyond the physical. When we are going beyond the physical, that is even where, for me, I think that is the stronger part of a human person.
Yeah, they say what we do not see is stronger than what we see.
Yes, it's stronger than what you see. So when you evoke God, because you don't see God, right? Because
God, you just invoke His presence.
You invoke His presence. But when you actually invoke it, you feel him.
Yes, you feel the
him.
spirit around.
You feel the spirit around. So you actually know that he is there. You see, it's the same thing. For example, when we go to adoration, no, when in that night of adoration, you actually feel Christ. You feel him. You see him there. When he is exposed in the blessed sacrament, you can see Christ is there. You feel his real presence. You know?
I don't understand. It is said that men do not love family prayers, and you people are here, men, talking so much and so positively about prayer when it is said it's not a secret now, or is it an open secret?
No, it's not.
It's open. Everybody talks about. I don't want to say everybody knows, because it will mean that it is obvious that men don't like prayer. But I want to say everybody talks about it, that men do not like family prayer. When the family wants to pray, the father say that you can be praying with the children. I will pray in the room. That's what some women say, and that's what some children talk about their father. So why do they say men don't like prayer? I don't know whether you people
I've heard about
support.
It.
Okay,
Yes.
you have heard.
Yes.
You mean that doesn't apply to you?
It doesn't apply to me. Yes, it doesn't. I don't know if Daddy has something to say.
Yes,
before I chip in.
what I can say here is that those statements are made based on statistics.
Yes.
When you look on statistics and even observation, you see that generally that is true. To a certain level, that is true. Many men don't like to come sit down as a family and pray. Perhaps they may pray individually. I don't know. I cannot guarantee that. But
Jesus himself asked us to be together when 2 or 3
are gathered.
So why do you leave the family and choose to go and be alone when the family is already guaranteed that Jesus is present?
Be there. And that is where the fault is coming. Perhaps due to ignorance. Or perhaps because they are not reading their Bible well. So that is why they don't know that where 2 or 3 are gathered together, Christ is there.
Okay,
so
I'll come back. Let me first hear from Mr. Itumbi.
Yes, this statement is true. You can experience that during the men adoration. You agree with me that the turnout was very, very poor. Just to go to the extent to justify the fact that men don't like to pray. You understand? Talk less of being as a family to pray. Now, to my own understanding about the societal experience and what is happening, is that the man has a lot of responsibility. So he thinks that his mind is crowded. His priority is to see that my family is okay. My family should have the basic necessities. My family should be able to meet all my responsibilities as a man, to pay the rent, to pay children's school fees, to give food for the family, and other social responsibilities. Yes. So when he has that crowded mind, he feels like he's tired and he cannot sit to pray. And maybe the least time that he has again is to meet with other men to share a bottle of drink. Let me just rest my brain to start the next day's activity. And before you know it, he's tired, he has gone to bed and sleep. The wife will be there, maybe they have joined CWA, they carry women. He has gathered his children and they have prayed. Pa is in the bar. Let me rest from work and have a bottle of drink with my friends, and then before I get home. So I think societal influence causes most men not to dedicate time to pray as a family.
Yes, let me just to support what Elvis is saying there. You see, the thing is that with the men praying together or going to sit in prayer, is they don't see any responsibility, somebody mounting pressure on him that if you don't pray, you
lose your respect.
Yes, you are going to be sanctioned.
Yes.
But on the contrary, the things that he just enumerated, if you don't do them, the society will judge you. For example, you are not able to pay your rent, you are not able to get a home, you are not able to put food on your table for your family and all of that. You see, the society will judge you. See, but if you don't pray, the society will not come and tell you that why did you not pray? You will be sanctioned for not praying. Don't come again to this position because you did not pray yesterday. I don't know if we are following.
We are together.
Yeah, so here it is a matter of conscience. It is only you, because it is only your conscience that is going to judge you that staying without praying is not good. You see, but nobody holds you and punishes you for not doing it. So you can choose to do it or not. If you don't do it, nobody punishes you. But the thing is that now we work as Christians, and you know that for you to be able to succeed in all those other things that he has just made, those material things, you should work very hard on your spiritual life. When you work on your spiritual life, those other things will normally fall into place.
I think last week on our program we were talking about the level of happiness.
Yes.
And then we discussed the different level of happiness, and it just boiled down to some of these things that we are saying, that why men don't want to pray. You get the point. And then we said that to pray, to dedicate our time to pray to God is an aspect of discipline.
Yes.
You need to discipline yourself, just like Adadi said.
Yes.
It's a matter of self-consciousness.
Yes.
You examine yourself, you cross-examine yourself. Am I a Christian? Am I God's creature? That I should create time for God instead of these social things that we have just enumerated, like let me be hustling to take care of my need as a family, as a family man. So it's about making a choice as a man. Like the Bible say, the road to the kingdom of God is narrow. So we make a choice. He has given us the liberty to choose what we want. So it's for us now. Some men are pray as a family, like myself and Daddy. That's why we are here to educate the other men that this is supreme being, irrespective of the fact that you need to supply food to your family and meet all your manhood responsibilities. But then, don't neglect that creator who gave you that strength and that energy to do all what you are doing to meet all the family responsibility and be a man like a vicar in your family. Yes. So create time, and the best way to do that, like you already mentioned, when one or two are gathered, he's there. So gather your family as a man and then pray. And then you see a miracle that God will do in your life.
Yes, okay. So if I could just try then now to answer your question from as you did pose it. Is it true that men
don't care about
prayer? That the majority of men,
they don't pray. It's true, because when you come to the church, for example, if you can go to the church, you take statistics in the church, you will find that the majority, or the higher, that is the population, women are generally more there than the men. Activities that you organize, women, that's prayer activities, the women, their turnout is generally higher than that of the men. So from there you can deduce that it therefore means that the men do not like praying. The women like praying more than the men. Well,
so, I want to also add to Daddy's point. Why is that? You know, today we are celebrating the body and blood of Christ. And they say that you should prepare yourself to commune with God through communion, Eucharistic service. You go and take communion, which is the body and blood of Christ. And in the course of the sermon, the priest said that what is discouraging men not to even go to communion. You see, chief, excuse me, we are sitting there. Most often than not is that some of these men, they have not even taken the sacramental commitment to even go to the church to get married officially to their wife. So you see that a lot of things hinders men from not even praying. The fact that you don't even take communion in church, how do you want to create time to pray?
Well, you don't come into communion with Christ.
Women are the one pushing the men. Let's go and marry in church. So that you create a mutual relationship with God. And if you create a mutual relationship with God, you have time to dedicate as a vicar man in your family to pray with God.
To become a Eucharistic man, you know. Yes.
And you see that Kawusi now, this is very, very common. A lot of couples now is Kawusi. Very few men even take the time to go to the church to celebrate their marriage in church.
Yes. And when you find yourself in such a situation, you know you become weak.
That's the thing.
You become weak. Because you say, I'm in a situation, you know, you become guilty that, you know, I am not up to. So now going to pray, what is that, of what profit is that going to be for me? It will be as if it's just a waste of time. So it therefore means that the men should, you know, regularize their situation. They know that there is a creator. Because by the time you start staying and then you start staying like that, the devil takes advantage. And exploits you and enters into you, and you know, and then finally you become weak and you will not be able to pray again. So that is going to push you.
One other thing is that we should be aware that prayer is spirituality. So you need to be spiritually fit to be able to talk to God, to communicate with God.
Yes, and you have to begin from somewhere.
Of course.
Because we look at our tangible bodies. We don't look at our intangible aspects.
That is
we dwell a lot on the physicalities. So we know that we have to pay fees. Just like he said, society will question you. if those things are not done.
Yes.
So society questions you on those tangible things, but the intangible, nobody sees.
Yes.
It's your conscience.
Especially of the spirit.
Yeah.
Because normally God should come down and start questioning us. That's when we'll be afraid.
That is it.
Yes, but we have never seen God coming down to ask you, why did you not pray to me today? You see,
He has allowed us to.
So He has given us the choice to either know Him and believe in Him and love Him and do as and behave as His children, and then He will. But you know,
and He has given us the
Yes.
conscience too.
yes, good.
He has given us the conscience too, but we have let the conscience die.
Yes,
We allow the consciences to
because we're
die.
running behind the material.
Yes, because
Yeah, we're running
we
after
don't
the
give
material.
time for the we don't give time for the spirit to work on our consciences.
consciences.
We stay behind
we are carrying
materialism.
things. We are carrying early
So,
things.
Yes.
so for fathers to pray, especially with the family, it has to be a decision from the father. It has to come with consciousness. It's you don't just let things go, and your children will even be happy. Your family will be happy because it's a way of spending time with the family.
Yes.
It's a way of bonding with the family. So when you say you are praying alone, are you an individual?
A family can
Do you
never be an
have
individual.
family? You can't have family and you say you are an individual,
Yes.
because the fact is that every individual is both physical and spiritual. So there is no way a family will only be physical if the individuals who make up the family are
Yes.
both physical and spiritual. So there must be the spiritual aspect of the family, which is a combination of the spiritual aspects of all the individuals who make up family.
Yes.
And that is dealt with in building our prayer life as a family.
And that's why they even said that a family that prays together
lives
Stays
together.
stays together,
Yes,
will always
so-
stay together. Because once you start praying together, you know that bond is there, it's going to grow. Actually, I think the bottom line there is that it's a problem of negligence. When you, especially when you don't make your situation right with God, you know, you start feeling guilty that I am not, because the spirit is there.
Yes, why do I
Yes.
didn't go to church when I will not go for communion?
When I will not go for communion,
Yes.
for example, you see, you start feeling guilty, and then like that, and then too, the evil one too knows,
Yes.
it takes advantage of that.
Yeah,
Knowing
and
that
some
knowing
drop off the children in
yes,
church and go back home.
Yes, knowing that this man is already weak. What does the evil
Take
one do?
advantage
He
of
takes
the
advantage
weakness.
of you and hit you harder so that you just get finished. So that is why we say we should do everything. We should know that our Creator is there, and He is a merciful Father. No
Yes, so
matter,
what practically
yes.
can a man who has not been praying with the family do to start praying with the family? Because when you have not been praying with the family and the family prays together, maybe the mother and the children,
yes.
they pray together, or where it is only you and the children pray together, and you have always been out on your own, away from the prayer. What can somebody do to summon that courage? Because even if you want to do it, sometimes it will be difficult to summon the courage to go and start. Sometimes the wife will say,
What?
what has happened today?
Yes, now it is.
Maybe they have sent him away from the other side.
Yes, it is it's a normal reaction. That
Yes.
something that they know that you are supposed to do, and you have neglected it
For so many years.
When you come back, no, everybody is going to be on their alert. You know, but what is happening? Is he actually changing?
Yes.
Okay.
Or is there something which he needs and
good.
he wants to play humility
Yes.
so that when he has it he would retreat?
Good.
So what can a man who has never been praying with the family, what can he do to put that courage together to join the family and continue?
Yeah, to me, the first thing is that you should be humble. Humility is a key.
Yes.
Because it's not only about praying, but preparing yourself to pray. Because prayer is a spiritual communication with God. We talk, we communicate, we should be spiritually fit. Just like we say that we have the physical and the spiritual part of every individual. So you need to be both physically and spiritually fit to prepare to be able to communicate with God. So a such person should first of all accept the fact that he's guilty. The man should first of all accept the fact that I'm guilty. I've neglected God for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. I've not been praying with my family. And then he first of all admit it, because the first thing is confession. Even in the early way, we say you want to go and receive the body of and blood of Jesus Christ, you need to go for confession. Because if you receive the body and blood of Christ without confessing, and we are not pure and prepared in the spirit, we receive condemnation.
Yeah.
That's what we say. The Bible says it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for such men who have not been praying, who have neglected God, and they want to come back, they should first of all humble themselves, accept the fact that they are sinners, and prepare themselves spiritually to encounter God.
Okay.
To my understanding.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. For me, I think just to add there, first thing that we should know is that our God is a merciful God.
Merciful God.
We should not be afraid. If you found yourself in such a situation, you should first of all know that God is a merciful God and is ready to forgive and take you back. Because every one time that a sinner repents, there is joy in heaven.
Sure.
So God is happy to get you back. So as men that we have not been praying for so long, and just humble yourself, say, Lord, forgive me. I never knew what I was doing. Now I am ready. And be sincere in what you are saying. Not
say
just
what
saying
you mean and mean
do
what you say.
Yes.
As
So we
Peter
will be
puts
sincere,
it.
and then there we should be prepared, and then we walk towards it, and we walk, and you are going to be successful. And therefore means that once you have decided that, okay, now I'm going to start praying with my family, from the beginning it will not be easy. It is not just a matter that you just turn around and then it will just come. You need to work on it, pray to God, and He is going to help you, since He is a merciful God, always ready to forgive and get you back. So hard work, that decision, and you work. And there is no way for you to succeed in life if you don't work. You see, there is no way. You must work for it. And then there is also, you should learn. You should meet spiritual leaders. We have the priests. The priests are there. That is their work, to guide us back when we fall and we go astray. The priests are there. The church is there to guide us back and bring us to our Father in heaven, so that we will be able to have our salvation.
There are some men that they have taken in this our generation now. They say that they're veteran. They belong in veteran clubs,
Yep.
and then they have chosen Sundays to be their meeting points, whereby they have gotten addicted to such activities.
Yes.
You see, on Sundays, gentlemen will go and meet, and then they see that exercise themselves, play football, and then after that you see about 20 crates of beers.
Yes, and all their meetings are on Sundays.
Yes. So such men, when that they said, if they want to come back, because of course their women will be grumbling. You are not going to church. You just have a saying, let's go to church. It will be singing and it's falling to deaf ears. So if they want to come back, like we say, it's humility. First of all, accept that you are guilty of abandoning Christ.
Yes.
And then start reshaping your life.
Yes.
You need first of all be yourself spiritually first. And we should encourage our wives too and children that they should not be giving side comment head, that they don't change or things like that, just like you mentioned. Wow, is it that you are coming out because you are encountering some problem outside there, or what, or you want to sincerely transform to become a Eucharistic man?
Yes.
So and actually, a humble man can always just change at any time. Yes, a humble man, somebody who values the wife, can always just change at any time, and he will have support. Because if you just tell your wife that I've realized that this what I'm doing is wrong and I really want to change, and if you don't have the kind of nagging one too, she will happily welcome you, and she'll be happy with the fact that you have decided to change. And it's the children who will be making those comments, and she will warn the children.
Yes.
But if you are that type who considers the wife as something that you picked from somewhere, and who has to be lording over, by the time you start coming, maybe she's the one who even start commenting, and the children will pick up from her. So when the person you have as your own understands and you people move on, the children cannot just say anything. The children cannot say anything.
Yeah.
Because children say those things with their mother.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, they wink at their mother when the father is like wanting
like,
to change
yes,
or
to
doing
change.
something which is unusual.
Yes, change from the bad habits to good
To the
habits.
good habits,
Yes.
yes.
You know, generally, just as you are saying, you people are the one who usually discourage discourage us to go back to fall back into our bad habits.
Yes.
So, and by doing that, let the women know, therefore, that by doing that, they are filling in their role as the helper of the man.
Yes, that's why I'm saying that.
Good, as the helper.
That's
of
why
the
I'm
man.
saying that both of them
Yes.
are helpers of each other.
Yes.
Yes.
Good.
It and this help comes naturally.
Yes.
It is not automated.
is it.
It is not like you know that you are the helper of the man, even if that man is a devil.
No.
Even if that man is battering you.
No, we are not
You
saying
see,
that.
It comes naturally when that man is showing you love, that man is showing you concern.
Yes.
When the children want to even talk against the man, the mother asks, do you know that you are talking about your father like this?
Yes.
But when the father is that type who batters the mother, when he enters the house and maybe he is hungry and food is not ready and he did not leave money for food and he expresses hunger, the child will just look at the mother and they will just wink and sit there.
Yes.
And they will be waiting for you to eat from the money which you gave.
Yeah, madam, that is a particular case.
Yeah.
Here I'm talking of the general case of that's the general trend where the women should give support to their men as the helpers. It is not me who is saying it.
Yes,
it is the Bible.
True.
It is the Bible is the Bible that is saying that
The helper is in all directions.
Yes.
Financial help, spiritual help,
Yes,
spiritual
and
help.
from both sides. That is my point.
No, I agree. We
Yes.
know that when they say that the woman is the helper, the Bible specifies that. I want to strike on that.
Yes,
point.
the woman is the helper.
You as the woman, you are supposed to do everything, especially because when the man is in the weaker position, even though the general they say that they are the women is that women are the weaker sex.
Yes.
No, those are is a society that is saying no.
They are very resistant sex.
Yes. The women are very resistant and resilient.
Instead to say that daddy or you just say that drunkard, useless man, start to side comments and stuff like that. Are you helping the man or you are instead pushing the man to do more?
That's why I'm saying that. That's why I'm saying that this help comes from two sides.
I agree with you.
If this man gets drunk
yes
from time to time or once in a while, you see that something has happened and this man has gotten drunk.
What if it's a habit?
Support
What
the
if
man.
it's a habit?
If it's a habit, the fact is that we are only moving towards the positive side.
Okay.
But we are not encouraging the habit.
we are not encouraging it.
Yes.
We are not.
So my worry is that a man who is being supported should not take advantage of that support.
No, a man should not do that. If you are just because we first of all put the situation of humility.
Yes.
A humble man does not take advantage of the wife or of the children.
Yes.
You are not supposed to. If you are taking advantage of the therefore means that you are being cunning and you have a hidden agenda.
You don't have a Christian mind.
But if you are a humble man, a Christian, it means that you have realized that okay, I was going wrong somewhere. I want to come back now. That's where this is where I'm bringing up the idea of
being
woman playing that role. That is when the woman is most needed, and that's when that his role of a helper to the man.
Yes, and
you understand? I'm not saying that the man is not supposed to help the woman. The man naturally too, as being the head of the family,
automatically
yes, he is also helping the family, helping everybody, so that you put force together.
Yes, that's how it's actually supposed to be, because when the man is that head of the train which has direction and purpose,
good,
every cabinet of the train follows behind that head.
Good.
But when that head does not have direction, does not have purpose, does not have objective, that family is heading for doom.
No,
and sometimes like that, you see the woman just gets up and decides to be the head.
Yeah, those things, they do happen. When there are some men who actually relax and shift away from their role,
responsibility
as the head of the family,
and you see the
and gives the green light to the woman to head the family.
Yes,
you see, by so doing you are you are failing in your task.
You are failing.
Yeah, you are
Seriously
failing in
failing
your
in your
role.
responsibility.
Because it is God that gave that role.
Yes,
you
it's
understand?
not you who
It's
decided
God who
that
decided
you are
that it is the man.
you are the leader.
Yes, that it is the man who is the head of the family. And when I talk this, we always still quote this Genesis, in the book of Genesis, when Adam and Eve were tempted in the garden and they fell. You see, actually it did pass through Eve, but when God came, you see, it was Adam that he first of all asked, because he is the head of the family. So as Christians, we should know that that is how it's supposed to be, and it therefore means that we should lead in everything, including this aspect of prayer. Because you did ask the question, why is it that men usually say that no, it is the women? Because they think that prayer is not important. They want to take things for granted, that their family should work well, their family should be strong families. Since they are Christian families, right? They just know that everything is
their strength is obvious.
Yes, that God is with them and everything. No, you must work for your family.
Nothing good comes easy.
For you to be successful in life, you must work. You must work well.
Why should you work to be financially strong?
Yes, you
and
must
don't want to work to be spiritually strong.
Good. So you must
get committed.
You don't take God for granted, because when you are living that, things should just work. The spiritual aspect of your family should just fall in place because God is there, because you are a Christian. At that moment, you are trying to take God for granted. So you must work, and you work and work every day, so that the spiritual aspect of your family should grow. And just as we say, once the spiritual aspect of the family is in order, all the other things
they take order.
They will naturally take order.
Because
you can prove this, because once you are spiritually upright, right? Once you are spiritually upright, you cannot be doing the wrong things.
Yes.
Because you will be contradicting your identity. Any person who is spiritually upright will seek to do only the things that are good. For example, you will not be drinking and getting drunk. You cannot take your family and put it in a car when you are in the drunken mood and you start driving on the way, because you know that you'll be contradicting your identity as a good person.
Yes, now I think we have spoken about on that at length.
Yes.
Now let's look at what the church is doing to help men come out of such situations.
This difficulty of praying.
There's difficulty of praying.
Yes,
what is the church doing?
Yes.
Because after all, prayer is the key. It's not like a joke, because they say prayer is the key. Prayer is the key. Prayer is the master key. They taught us that song when we were children.
Yes, and it is said again. I'm not cutting you, madam. It is said again that Christ began with prayer
and ended with prayer. Prayer is the master key. Yes.
So it is a serious issue.
Yes, it's not something that we just get up and start talking about. That the people whom God gave to us to take care of us and the children, and the way God asked them to take care of us, they have abandoned us, and they have abandoned the way that God asked them to take care of us. And they are only looking now at the things which we need physically. That's why a man will say, but I give her everything that she needs.
Yes.
I give her everything that she needs.
Yes.
Why is she disturbing? Why is she complaining?
And when they say like that, you just verify, surfacely, even not, you just verify just a bit. You see that the emotional support that the woman
is not there.
It's not there.
And so those are the things that we don't see.
Yes.
And they say what you don't see is stronger than what you see.
So how then can you say that you have given your wife everything
when you have not given the most important?
Yes, the emotional need.
You are not providing.
Yes, you are not providing for her emotional needs.
Yes.
Then how can you say that you have given everything?
Yes, okay. And when you pray, you will touch the people with whom you pray. And touch is one of those key aspects of unity. Yeah. It's one of those key aspects of unity. Sometimes we don't even realize the impact of a touch, the effect of a touch, but it goes a long way. But when we are staying away from family, when we don't even use that singular opportunity to come together, prayer, then we don't even have the opportunity to touch each other. except when you want to have your sexual needs satisfied. That's not the touch which we need.
Yeah, because when you pray as a family, you touch each other spiritually.
Yes,
Just
and you even sit close to each other.
Yes, you come, you sit together, as you pray, and the words are coming out.
You hold hands, you sing,
you see the things
you express your feelings in prayer.
Yes.
So tell us what the church is doing to help families on this aspect of men not actually involving in the family prayers. What's the church doing?
The church has created groups, prayer groups.
Yes, there are prayer and action groups in church,
where individuals should register themselves. They say singing is praying twice. I, for one, am in a choir. I see that if I join the choir, I can use my voice to praise God, and then use the same voice in my family to praise God as a family. So sometimes prayer does not mean that we need to be talking about like that. So you can just get up in the morning and just do some worships with some songs, and then we close the prayer. So the church has actually created these groups. CMA is there, Caribbean Association, the CWA is there, CFM is there, this small
St. Jude, Sacred Heart, all the different
church has
Marian devotions are
created a lot of apostolic groups whereby we think that the society should really inculcate themselves to fit in these prayer groups.
Yes, because when you belong to them, you learn how to pray, and you can lead prayers at home.
Sometimes some people don't even identify their talents that God has given them. But when they belong in such groups, they begin to discover themselves. We have seen a lady where she could not even boast of even saying do re mi fa so, but when she joined the choir, before
she can pitch until you
she was even the conducting and even teaching all songs. So God just used her to develop some talents, and then the inspiration comes, it transfers now to the family, and you find yourself praying with the family by worshiping with your praise songs. So church has actually created all these small subgroups for us, to the extent by going to small Christian communities like that is mentioned, but we still neglect them.
Yes, and that's just what is happening. Yes, we have ourselves to blame. And in addition to all of that, we have even the Blessed Sacrament is there in the church. Today we are celebrating the feast of the most holy body and blood of Jesus Christ. You go to the church, you find women in adoration. Though as generations come and go, the number of women who go for adoration reduce.
It's reducing.
Yes,
but they are still the majority as compared to the men.
As compared to men,
So those are the things that really, that's what we observe. And people, they put forth and saying that we don't pray. That is true. Because
so how can we encourage men? Because even if you don't want to pray in the house, once you start going for Eucharistic adoration and praying alone, the presence of Christ in the Eucharist will give you that fulfillment that will just make you see the need to spend time with family in prayer.
Okay. I think that to advise them, I think that it is a willpower. It is you to decide.
Yes.
They said God, our God is a merciful God, but that does not mean that if you neglect Him, you will be able to have your salvation. The thing is that you should first of all accept that God is your creator, and that you should create time. First of all, I think there's this question we should be asking: why is it that people are always complaining that they don't have time? They're always in a haze. There is no time for you to go to prayer, but they have time to do every other thing. Who has given us that time? Well, by the time you ask yourself that question and you answer it consciously, you'll be able to create time as a man to pray. So the men should take it upon themselves. Take it as from today that you are taking a decision that I must create time for prayer in my life, because in everything that I do, I should know that I have a creator. Or else you want to say that you came from where? If you don't believe that God is there, and if God is there and He created you, I think that is very, very important that we should create time. We should put it in our agenda. In our agenda that we, for example, in a day I can have 10 minutes to pray to God, because generally that's one of the things that usually discourages men, or that's what they usually put forward. They say that women, they always make very long prayers, and their prayers are so long and boring, and when they become so long, they become boring, so they don't want to pray. That's what usually cause them to escape from these family prayers.
Yes, I've experienced one like that.
Where
the children, the mother complained that her children do not accompany her in prayer. And when I asked the children said that when the mother gets up in the morning, she starts with the rosary, and then she starts reading first reading, second reading, first reading, psalm, gospel, and then she starts a homily, and then when she finishes from there, she goes on to the beats of the Sacred Heart, and then sometimes she starts the Divine Mercy Chaplet. And then the children will start going out
one by one
and coming back, going out. So they are distracted. So the woman said that no, her prayers are not that long.
And what about the husband? I'm sure too. There are times the husband too will also go.
The husband just comes and sits, and when his is enough,
he just goes him away. So yeah, they should make the prayers.
Encouraging that prayer should not be so long.
Yeah, it should not be so long.
When it's long, it becomes a repetition.
Yes.
You begin to say one and the same thing to God.
And God knows everything that we have in us. We just need to create that time, and then you put it to Him, and then He will, he will understand. He knows everything. That's because God is omnipresent. Everything that, even our thoughts, He knows. So you don't need to pray a very, very long prayer before God will hear you.
We thank you very much for all your contributions so far. We thank all the men and the families out there who've been following us, and we just wish you the best. We thank Mr. Itumi. Thank you for being here, Daddy Neps.
Thank you.
We are happy that you're always here, Daddy.
Thank you.
We are happy because the technician is just all that we need now for us to have what we are having on the screen. We thank our supervisor, we thank our manager, we thank all those who make it possible for this studio to be available, for us to run this program in the Diocese of Buea for the benefit of all those who are able to watch and take home something. Wow, we call on you to always be here every Sunday 1 p.m. Family Life is there. The button is called Family Life. Everything you think about now is family life. The password is family life. Think about everything. All we have to say is just family life. Every Sunday, 1 p.m., the password is family life. Thursday for rebroadcast, password family life. We thank you out there, and family is all we have.
Family, the story of our origin.
Wow. This is family life.